Hello again, this is Tom Laurie and Bob
Siegfried.
Siegfried. We're here at Lydia's talking about this fantastic piano.
Well, Lydia found this piano somewhere. It hadn't been used very much, but it hadn't been repaired in a long time. And it was a long way from being in tune. And I said, well, if it's not tuned, nobody will play it. And she said, well, she didn't know. And finally, I gave her an offer for a tuning that she couldn't refuse. And I said, well, just tune it up, and you listen to it, and just listen to a few notes. And if you like the sound of it, we'll do some more work on it. And she liked the notes. Piano sounded good. And so I'm ready here to do some more work on that piano. It's a good piano. I think it'll sound great.
Yeah, Lydia saying it has ivory keys.
Well, it has a lot of features on it that are very hard to find in these days. I mean, to find ivory key tops in as good shape as these are is really rare. I mean, we've got a piano at home that only us kids have used, and the keys, ivory keys, are already pretty badly worn. So there are other things on the piano right at the moment. The hammers are awfully loose. And so sometimes the hammer will hit one string, and sometimes two strings, and sometimes three strings, because they wobble back and forth. So you've got some changes that require redoing the pivots on the piano. You either just use a bigger pin, or you just tighten the screws, or you replace both the felt and the pin, and that's a lot more work. But it's one of those things that you do it 88 times and you get used to it.
So far you've tuned it, and now you're contemplating the next 88 steps.
Right. It's not 88 steps, it's 88 keys.
So
or 88 hammers.
Processes. Each key gets the same, whether it be refelt or bigger.
No, I mean, if you can get by with just tightening the screws, that's probably the best way to go. But it requires removal of the action so that you can get into these screws and these pins and stuff like that. So the next step is removing the action.
Well, it sounds like it's a real project, but you got a wonderful instrument to work from. You're inspired by it.
I think I've got a good instrument to work on, but it takes a little bit of time to get all 88 hammers so they don't wobble anymore.
Well, this might be the beginning of our own piano bar here on Ludlow Avenue.
Well, it might be if you can get the people to use it. And my experience is that if the piano is tuned, you have to fight to keep people away, because they're always coming in and trying to play it.
Several years ago, there was an art event to take pianos and put them in public spaces. We had one here that you worked with, right?
I don't remember working on the one here. I worked on one in Lockland, and I worked on several of them. They went around and they had piano technicians look at every piano before they moved it, and a big cost is moving. But if the piano technician said the piano was worth fixing up and putting in somewhere, they would have people that would do that, and you come in and you work on it. I worked on one down on Fountain Square, and I worked on one in Clifton School, but then it got rained on, and that was the end of that piano.
Yeah, I don't know how that worked out, but anyway, gee, this must have been 5 or 6 years ago when they had those meetings.
Yes, I can't remember the exact date, but it was at least 5 years ago.
Well, Bob has a basement full of pianos. How many do you have in your basement?
I think I have nearly a dozen.
And they're all uprights.
They're all big old uprights like this. About 5 of them are players because I work on players.
Oh, yes, yes. And do you have a dehumidifier in the basement?
Yes, I have heat and dehumidifier. But I tried to demonstrate the player pianos a couple months ago, and none of them would play. I mean, 0-degree weather was just too much for them.
Oh yeah, 0 degree, that'll do it. But you still tune people's pianos?
Oh, sure.
And what's the process of having you tune the piano? Do you just call you up and?
Yes, I'm on the telephone book. If you look on the website for piano tuners, you'll find me on the list.
Oh, great. Well, we're going to have you over to tune our piano again too.
Well, it's been a few years since anybody's played it, Tom.
That's true. I'm waiting for my my beginning of my piano playing. I'm pretty
Well,
close.
you can't wait forever. You know?
I understand.
I practice about an hour a day. You know?
I play guitar about an hour a day, but to do the piano, it's just going to take another.
Yeah, it's going to take something more. I remember my piano teacher telling me one time that I ought to take up the guitar. And I said, well, is my piano playing that hopeless? And he said, oh, no, not at all. It's just, it's so slow learning to play the piano that you can get a lot of fun from a musical standpoint by playing the guitar, and you make a lot faster progress.
Oh, I agree 100%. And my goal this year is to know every key on the guitar and the relationships that the melody that I'm playing and real notes, so that when I go to the piano, you can say, well, this is an A sharp.
I never continued with my instructor's advice about the guitar. But I do continue on the piano, and I make very slow progress.
Well, my partner, Irene, she wanted to learn the piano in her retirement, so we're hoping that she steps up to the bench soon and starts.
Oh, that's good. It's good to have the pianists play it. Doesn't do them any harm.
All right, well, we're going to say goodbye from Lydia's here and Bob Siegfried, the master pianosmith. What is the proper
I'm
term?
going to try to get Tom's help in removing the action if I can get permission to do that.
Okay, Bob. Thanks a lot. How's it look?
Oh, I can't see. I haven't got my glasses on.
Well, say a little something about the piano.
Well, we just put this action back in after getting all of these parts replaced and a lot of the hammers replaced and a special covering on the hammers here because they were so badly worn up in this section that it had to be repaired, and the repair was covered with bunion cloth.
Okay.
Eventually, the hammers will have to be replaced, but that's a couple $100. We'll see how long this lasts.
Thank you, Bob.
Good.
Well, it's off down here. I mean,
Yeah.
north aren't there, but up here you go.
So all in all, it's okay, right? The piano.
Oh, it's got to be lined up here. Now Bob Gunning's the expert.
No,
and I
but
see him in-
you know, Bob Siegfried redid the works here in this piano,
Okay,
and he lives down on Evanswood, and it's a work in progress. So
that's Bob.
yeah, Bob Siegfried.
Siegfried, I'm sorry. I'm Gary Siegfried. Oh my God.
Yeah. So anyway,
Siegfried line.
we're working on it.
Yes.
And he's taken it to another level.
I've worked with him since the Children's Museum.
Right.
We put the
right,
pianos together.
right. So the piano's coming along.
Well, I see him in here. It's got to be good. He's the best.
He's the best. Okay. Thank you.
What joy you brought me. What pain you taught me. So short a stay. Oh, sweet bitter love. Why have you awakened and then forsaken a trusting heart like mine? My magic dream. See if I can get my hair looking at it. I just washed it and can't
That's
do a
fine.
thing with it. Just washed my hair. Can't do a thing with it right now, but I got to go. When I won your love, I was so very glad. every happiness in the world belonged to me. Then our love was lost and you went away. Now I shed my tears in lonely misery. I know now that you never really loved me. It hurts me now to think you never really cared. I sit and ask myself 1,000 times to try and find whatever happened to the love that we shared. Oh, how could I be such a fool? How can I believe all the lies I told? How could I be taken in by your sweet face? Despite our love, you ruined my life. I'm so far down in this terrible disgrace. But there will come a time you'll regret the way you treated me as if I was a fool and didn't know the many ways you lied about your love for me. And no one is gonna know that your love was just a show. How could I be such a fool? How could I believe all the lies you told? How could I be taken in by your sweet face? You ruined my life. You spoiled our love. I'm so far down in this terrible disgrace. But there will come a time you regret the ways you treated me as if I was a fool and didn't know the many ways you lied about your love for me. But no one is gonna know that your love was just a show. How could I be such a fool?
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you. There's the boys.
Yeah.